What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. I'm getting ready for work. That's why I look like this right now. Talk about this. People are trying to cancel Ozzy Osbourne. Y'all had 76 years to do this. In fact, you know, that's a little too much. I think that's too much time giving right there. Let's just say, let's see, how long has cancel culture been around? It's actually been around forever, but like, you know, fast-paced internet, we're gonna say like 15 years. So basically the height of like maybe even MySpace. I even want to say maybe the MySpace days. So maybe almost 20 years now. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is like, okay, fine. You had those years. You had those fucking years to try to cancel him. And you're doing it now as he's fucking dead. Now, I ain't saying he's perfect. I am not at all saying Ozzy Osbourne was perfect. But what I am saying is you had 15 to 20 fucking years of the existence of the power of social media to fucking cancel him. So that's what I'm fucking saying. Yes, he was pro-Israel. Was not happy about that. Especially because, well, Sharon Osbourne. I mean, she's not exactly a peaceful person, but again, none of the pro-Israel people are when they talk about this bullshit. So yeah, they're not exactly the most peaceful people. Now, whatever. You want to use your videos so that way you can at least give the proceeds to Palestine or whatever, fine. I'll let that slide. Whatever, collect your clout. But some of these people, you could tell they're not even like Ozzy Osbourne fans, and they're talking about this shit. And I'm like, do you even like any of this type of music? Like, so that's where I'm confused. I was like, none of them look like they even know what Blizzard of Oz is or anything like that, right? And I understand, like, the one thing I do agree with though is do not romanticize the relationship of Ozzy and Sharon. That's one thing I was okay with somebody talking about, because Ozzy choked the shit out of Sharon. And I'm all for leaving a piece of shit like that, you know? I'm all for, oh, well, I knew she wasn't going to do it. I knew when she got cheated on, she wasn't going to leave him. Because at the end of the day, he's a marketing machine that she could try to take over. Although, I'm sorry, but if somebody's making you money, you don't let that motherfucker choke you. You get a bouncer or something and jump his ass up. Make sure you let him know, hey, I'm the one in charge, fucker. Like, you know, I don't know. That's what I would have done if I decided to stay in a relationship like that. I would have been like, no, I'm just going to get somebody to beat my husband up so he could fucking know not to mess with me because I'm the one who's making him the money, you know? So, yeah, so we all know. I'm not saying we don't know. The family has been very vocal. His own family has been very vocal on how Ozzy was, you know, like how he never really stopped drinking, how he never really was off the drugs or anything. What was that? It was that one. Was it not Behind the Music? I think it was E! True Hollywood Story or something like that. I can't remember, but it was one of those documentaries like in 2005 or 2006. I was almost out of high school, or I was out of high school, and they were talking about it, how he never really at that time quit drinking or anything like that. He was violent, and they had to call the you know, a couple of times they had to call the cops and everything. So yeah, I'm not at all saying this motherfucker was innocent at all. Like I said, y'all had 15 to 20 years to cancel this motherfucker. So maybe I take this a little bit more personally because of who he is, and I'm not trying to be biased at all whatsoever, because y'all seen me call out a lot of these musicians, but at least I speak about it when they're alive. And if I do speak about someone who's dead like many years later, it's because it's shit I'm finding out right now. So that's the thing. And you don't have to fucking cry over Ozzy Osbourne, because a lot of people were like, I'm not crying over this guy. Neither did I. I don't cry over celebrities. I don't cry over people I don't know. I don't cry over people I don't know. I don't cry over people who make more money than me. But yeah, that's just how I work. Because I know one of my friends, she texts me. She's like, I'm seriously crying right now. I'm like, girl, I'm sorry, but it's not that deep. I'm like, and I love Ozzy, don't get me wrong. I love Black Sabbath, and I acknowledge, I mean, it was like hard on me, but not like, I don't know. I guess it's just very different when you see your relative die compared to somebody you just, well, not that we saw him die, but I'm happy for Ozzy. And I know that sounds weird that, you know, I'm happy that this guy's dead. First of all, he's not suffering. After seeing my mom have dementia and fucking literally decaying in front of me day by day every time I'll come from work, I know she wanted to be gone. She wanted it done. She wanted it. My mom had always said, like, you know, don't ever put me on life support, don't ever put me on any of that shit, right? So I could tell you from a fact, his family was having more of a hard time, and they had to see what we couldn't see. So, you know, so in our minds, he's immortal. You know, he's immortal. Like, wait, we're going to use the bat palette. Might as well turn this into a makeup look, too. I don't know what I want to do. I'm like, what do I want to do? I already did a blue look. Should I do another? I feel like I always do a blue look when I'm talking. By the way, for all you who like to see me do my makeup, which is primarily women that like to see me do it, just head over to TikTok. just that's where I do most of them, to tell you the truth. I just feel a lot more comfortable over there. I like doing them on here too, like, you know, if I'm talking about something and I have to head to work. Don't get me wrong, I like doing it. It's just they just don't do as well on here as they do on TikTok. Going with no more tears, okay? We're gonna, because y'all crying. Oh, now I remember. Okay, I was talking about like death and decaying and all that stuff. I'm like, okay. So basically, you guys, like, I feel like we should be happy for Ozzy Osbourne, because you gotta think about it. He outlived Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley. Had those bitches. But I felt like when he died, he felt fulfilled. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like he is fulfilled in, like, he fulfilled his life, and that we should just be happy for him, you know. I really do feel that, and I think that's why I can't really like cry over it like how a lot of people are. But then again, like I said, I don't cry for somebody who makes more money than me. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna cry over a celebrity. I just don't do that, okay? And before somebody asks, would you cry over Dave Mustaine? No, absolutely fucking not. Like, I've been happy with him lately anyways, but still, no, I would not fucking cry over him. He makes more money than me. No, I'm not gonna cry. I just really feel like this man fulfilled everything, even all the bad stuff. Like, dude, I wish, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I had that legacy. Like, he has a legacy, and yeah, to us, he was immortal, but not to his family. They saw the harshness, but the music, he made sure to make immortality, even if it wasn't him, like his music, the legacy. And it's, you know, you also got to think about it. Ozzy was you know, he got fired from Black Sabbath, and, you know, thanks to Sharon, like, he was able to become a very successful solo artist. How many people do you know who do that? Because I was watching the Metal Voice and they made that point. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, Dio had a successful career when he went on his own. Ronnie James Dio had many successful careers, but he wasn't fired. He wasn't at his lowest. That was the difference. Like, Ozzy was at his lowest when he got fired from Black Sabbath, and then he became a successful solo artist, and then eventually a fucking reality TV show personality, and for some reason that show won an Emmy. But yeah, and a lot of it had to do with Sharon, yes, because I forgot who her dad was, but I guess like he owned some record label or whatever, or that's what set Ozzy different, you know, is the fact that he was able to do that almost on his own, you know, with Sharon's help, and he sold way more albums than Black Sabbath did. So that's what made him different. That's why a lot of people in the metal community took it really hard and were crying. I understand. Not really, because I don't cry over celebrities like that, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to relate to you guys. I'm sorry. I'm real. David Lee Roth have a successful solo career? Yeah. Did Sammy Hagar? Did Mick Jagger? He couldn't even do something like that, you know? So it's just like, do you understand the difference how Ozzy was? Like, no matter how crazy. Look, and even when I was watching the Metal Voice, even they were saying, you know, Ozzy did get away with stuff that a lot of people, even at that time, probably wouldn't have gotten away with shit. I was like, he did have a horseshoe up his ass. That's the thing. That's what I know is about Ozzy. He had a horseshoe up his ass, or that, or Cheryl was just smart and she knew how to get him out of trouble. I think it primarily more of that, to tell you the truth. But yeah, no, he definitely had, okay, I'm going in with the color Lords. It's just the other blue color, the shimmery one. Like, it would have been anybody else. Oh my goodness, no. It would not have happened with such luck. This has no fucking color to it. What the hell? Color. Where are you? Okay, this is why I don't like using this palette. I like it more for decor, but I do have issues getting pigment off this palette. I know. Oh my goodness, the amount of building I have to do. Okay. The palette was by Rock and Roll Beauty, by the way. They're not around no more. Eventually they got in trouble by saying some racist shit or something. But that's just the thing, like, you know, that's what made him successful. You know, again, if this would have been any other person, they would have been canceled years, I mean decades ago, you know? So I'm just like, kudos to him, because I wish I'd done half the stuff he did and got away with it. I'm not gonna lie. He had a very adventurous life, and I think also the thing was stood him out, unlike other people that, for example, Dave Mustaine. Dave Mustaine, it was more like he created another successful band, you know? It was more of that. But Dave Mustaine did it out of anger and fuel, and Ozzy Osbourne was more like just very, you know, upbeat, you know? He was very happy-go-lucky, even when he was depressed, you know? He was just very happy-go-lucky and like lightly, or what is it called? I don't know, he was just happy. He was optimistic, there we go, that's what I'm trying to say. What I could with that, I'm just gonna go in with the lighter blue, the even lighter blue. Like, I'm still in shock Ozzy Osbourne got away by pissing on the Alamo, I really am. Okay, I'm just gonna put on my liner and my lashes, and then I'll be right back. Yeah, no, my makeup came out so much more better yesterday. It's just, I'm really tired right now, and it's raining blood right now. So yeah, I'm just not feeling anything. But anyways, if you really want see a nicer version of it, you could go to my TikTok when I'm like also complaining about the whole Ozzy thing being canceled. So yeah, you can go to that. I'm literally just eating overnight oats right now, and I'm having this because that's how bad it is right now, and I need to survive, and things are rough at home right now. So let me know what Ozzy has, you know, helped you through, you guys, because I know his music has helped me out a lot through life as well. My dad hated his music, really thought it was a devil, him and Kiss. But yeah, just let me know, you know, maybe we'll chat more about Ozzy Osbourne, what we do love about him and everything in a later video. So I do remember the Reunion live album was kind of creepy for me to hear, as well as like Iron Man and all them. My oldest brother Junior used to play their stuff all the time. Not that he's a metalhead, he just like Black Sabbath, that's it, and Pink Floyd. But anyways, yeah, we'll talk more about this because I have to head into work. So I'm just not feeling that great. I'm sorry. Like I say, it's raining blood right now. But anyways, salut. I'll see you guys in the next video.